So these are my pros and cons of an SVSU student who is a second year, a commuter, who goes as a full-time student. So let's start with the cons, right? So if you're kind of going for like a party school, and in some cases people are, you definitely may not want to go to SVSU. That's more, you could go to a similar school like GVSU or Ferris and find the same type of thing you'd get at SVSU, but you'd be able to go to more parties and be able to participate in those kind of things more. Or if you're really going for a big, heavy party school, definitely look for a bigger size school because the more people tends to have more parties. With that being said, there are definitely parties that you can go to. A lot of times, the parties tend to be a little more you have to know people to get in, but like Sigma Pi tends to host parties that you can just kind of go to that everyone will post about. And Pierce Road Bar and Grill, that's where a lot of people go on the weekends, and that is a really good spot. People love it there. They talk about it all the time. I honestly think a super underrated part of our campus is just the way it looks. It's not very big. I think a walk from probably the furthest points of campus is like a 15-minute walk at most, so you won't really ever walk more than that amount of time. I actually think that campus is really pretty too, and there's a lot of wildlife, especially geese. And there's not so many geese that they like poop everywhere and it's gross. It's like more of they're just around, and we have a lot of ponds that they like to hang out by, and it's overall just really pretty in general. And we have a lot of really nice forests, and we have a protected water area and all kinds of stuff. Now, I will say this, when it comes to people on campus, a lot of times there tends to be a lot less people walking around. We're a lot more fair weather people. So in the beginning of the year, end of the year, there tends to be more people hanging out and doing whatever. And like I said, it's not a very big campus, so you kind of can expect that because at any given time, on a bigger campus, there could be people doing whatever, where here you don't really, there's not much to do on campus. It's not like there's a city that you're just walking around in. It's just campus. So unless you're going somewhere, you're not really just going to walk around. With that being said, though, there are a lot of RSOs or clubs that people love to get involved in. I've never seen so many clubs and so many opportunities for you to find something, and that's how a lot of people make their friends. And it's definitely, I've never seen networking like the clubs that we have here. Me personally, I don't talk about it a lot, but I'm in the esports club. I don't really consider myself in the club, but I do play esports, which puts me there. I post it in my videos, but other than that, like, I don't really talk about it, but I love it, and the people I've met there are pretty awesome, and, and they're super nice. Now, like, obviously, with that, there are some caveats, like, there are not always the nicest people all the time, but you can kind of pick who you hang out with, and that's what's really nice, and that's how most people make their friends is through those clubs. And I know you probably have heard about the housing. I will say the housing is really nice, but there are a lot of downsides, especially right now. There's a lot of housing problems, and it doesn't matter what year you are, you might not even get a house at this moment, and that's just kind of how it is. But I hope that helped you a little bit, and I hope maybe we'll see you on campus soon.